everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I am going to be creating the Foxy eye trend. I posted a couple pictures on my Instagram wearing the look, got really good feedback. People asked if I filmed the video, so now I'm going to be filming the video for you. Also asked if you wanted to see an extreme Foxy eye or more of a wearable one, so I'm going to do something a little bit more in between. I'm going to show you how to create a very easy Foxy eye, which is basically like a smoked out cat eye, using a drugstore palette, which is great because it's affordable. So I'm going to be using this guy right here, the Maybelline Nude of New York. I've been using this to create the eye and I really like it. So yeah, and this is a great way to kind of give your eye a little bit more of a lift. Also, another tip, if you want to give your eye a little bit more of a lift, take your hair and pull it back. It will also lift up your brow a bit. So I should have pulled mine back tighter, but every time I do that, I get ahead. I already have concealer on my eyelid. I set it with some translucent powder, so I'm just gonna put a little bit of this Benefit Stay Don't Stray on my eyelid. If you're wondering about anything that's on my face, it will be listed down below in the description bar. So I'm just putting a little bit of this on the lower lid. So first I'm taking this shade called Artist. It's an all over lid color. I'm just gonna set my lid with this. I have a little bit of a highlight underneath my brow already just from my highlighter on my face. I'm just setting the whole lid lightly with that. Okay, so next I'm taking this NYX number 16 brush. It's a crease kind of blending brush, and I'm going in with the shade Creator. Any light brown will do. You don't want it to be super harsh this step, so you're gonna take it and just start to work it. I work it in the crease very lightly, bringing it pretty high up underneath the brow bone, still leaving a little bit of that light shade to shine through for like a brow highlight. But what you're going to do is you're just going to want to start to create a little bit of a shadow, and you're going to want to flick it out towards the end of your brow. For this look, it's better if your brow is more tapered straight instead of going slanting down, just so it gives you more of that lift. I tried my best to make my brow look as straight as it possibly could out to the side. So again, take this brown shade, slowly work it into the crease, flick it out, like so. And you can see the difference between the eye. It's very subtle. You don't want a major harsh brown line. Maybe you do. There's all different types of Foxy eyes that you can do. This one's a little bit more subtle, I would say. So you're just going to want to keep building on that until you get the desired color that you want. I think I'm pretty much there. You're going to want to flick that out. Then I'm taking a little bit more of a tapered blending brush. This is a MAC 224. Going in with the same color again. But what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to go underneath the lash line now, and also flick it out. So what you're doing is you're kind of creating a point, like a V. So you're gonna flick it out to kind of match that outer flick that you've done. Very subtle. I always kind of add a brown eyeshadow for the most part underneath my eye anyways, because it actually hides fine lines. Because when you put your concealer on and you set it, you get these little tiny fine lines underneath your eye. So when you add a little bit of a lighter shadow underneath, it kind of helps hide those fine lines. I'm just flicking it out, kind of match that corner. So next I'm going to be laying down that light shade again that we used all over the eyelid, but I'm using it more with a packing brush. It's the shade Artist in the palette. Now you have a couple of options. You can do a shimmer, or you can keep it matte. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to keep it matte on the lower lid. So I'm going to go back in with that Artist shade and just brighten it up a tiny bit, but only focusing it really on the inner portion of my eye. This just helps kind of brighten up the whole eye a little bit more. If you're a little bit more mature, you might want to stick with a flat shadow. It's totally your preference though. You can use shimmer. I truly don't believe that there should be rules with makeup. Like listen, I understand certain colors or certain textures look better on certain age groups or whatever, but you do you. You do you. If you like glitter or shimmer or sparkle, don't worry about your age. Apply what you like. Okay, all these people that come on here and talk about rules to makeup, the rule is be yourself, love yourself, feel yourself. That's my rule. So I'm going to take the same brush we used underneath the lash line. Now I've seen people do this on the internet. You can use tape to kind of guide your line. If you feel more comfortable that way, do it that way. For me, I find it looks a little bit more natural and a little bit more blended when I do it freehand. All up to you though, all up to what you feel more comfortable with. So you make that decision. If you were going to use tape, I would have started with tape on the whole eye, and then you would have to do the lower lash line kind of towards the end to blend it. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go in with the shade called Self Starter. It's a brown matte shade. All right, so for this step, you're gonna wanna take it slow. Just slow. Slow, tap off the excess. You don't want any fallout. Build, 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 slow, slow, slow. That's my tip to you. So you're gonna take, what I do is I kind of like look sideways, take my little brush. Then I like to use a tapered brush. This is one from Joe Fresh called a crease blender brush. It has a nice blend to it, but it's more precise on the tip. So I'll go back in with that brown shade again, just leaving the color on the tip of the brush. And then this way you can be a little bit more precise of where the shadow is going. If you want to do more of like an extreme cat eye, you'd want to take this brown shade all the way pretty much to the tail of your brow. This way though, if you're kind of keeping it a little bit halfway, it's a little bit more wearable, I find. So we're going to go just add a little bit, just add some more blending. Now for this line too, I only take it about halfway to the center of my eye, and I don't add any more shadow over this way. So we're just going to leave it like this. I'm also going back in with that MAC one, the little fluffy brush. I'm going to add a little bit of this on my lower lash line to connect the two. Then I go back in with the tapered brush just to kind of add a little bit more precision. So I'm going back in with the MAC brush with that Creator, the first light brown shade we used, putting that shade on this little brush, and then what I'm doing is I'm going along the edges of this brown to just really blend and soften the line. I'm going to give the eyelashes a slight curl before I apply any eyeliner. Okay, so for this next part, you have many options. So you could actually go in with a liquid liner and kind of trace out the cat eye and then bring it in, or you can do a pencil, or you can do like a gel pot. I'm gonna do the Chanel, this is the Stilo waterproof, long-lasting eyeliner in intense black. Now you can use whatever you want. The first time I created this eye, I used a liquid liner and it looked great, but I found it was a little bit choppy, not as blended and smoked out as what I want it to be. So what I'm doing is I'm taking this eyeliner from Chanel. First, I'm going up into the lash line. So I'm just gonna work that pencil in. So I'm also adding this to the inner corners, adding a very, very small line all the way across the lash line, very, very little. I take a little MAC, what is this, 211 brush. It's a kind of a little precise eyeliner brush. And then I just go along the edges of that line just to make sure we have no harsh lines and everything's kind of just seamlessly smoked out. Then what I like to do is I'd like to apply the eyeliner to the edge of this brush. And I'm going to draw a little bit of a wing, tiny. So we're going to start at the inner corner. Actually, what you're going to do to make your life easy, you're going to want to start to apply this liner right here. Just on the corner of your eye. So you know exactly where to kind of flick out your wing. And then from that line, you're going to pull up product and pull in to make some sort of a little bit of a smoked out wing. It's not precise. It just kind of looks like a black eyeshadow with a little bit of a smudge to it. Now you can also use a black eyeshadow as well instead of an eyeliner if you want. Black eyeshadow might be a little bit easier for you to work with at first because it blends a little bit better, but I find that this one really does stick to the eye and holds all day long. So for the inner corners of my eye, I'm going back in with this brush. And you're going to want to kind of do a point to do some sort of cat eye kind of look. So you're going to want to do the tip of a triangle. I just go back in with my flat kind of paddle brush, and I like to just soften the edges for this part I don't like this to be super harsh. You can do this with a liquid liner and get a super fine point to it, but I like mine to look a little bit more smoky. So I like to use the liner and smudge it and then just blend it back out with a flat kind of brush. For the waterline, you can take black all the way in the inner rim, totally up to you. I am going to not do that today. I'm going to just take a little bit of this black and just push it right here, about a quarter of the way. And then I like to use a lighter shade, so I'm going to go in with the Revlon. This is the Hyper Precision Gel Eyeliner in the color Beige. So we're going to use that. If you take your eyeliner brush as well and kind of go where the two colors meet and smudge them, it just creates a little bit of a softer transition so you don't have a line of like white and then black. So that's a little tip too, just smudge a little bit whatever's left over in between the two colors. So next I'm going to add some mascara. I'm going to go in with the L'Oreal Unlimited Mascara. I'm going to focus more of the mascara on the outer edges of my lashes, but you're still going to want to apply it all over, but just try to focus more on the outer and pull outwards rather than upwards. For the lower lashes, I'm going to go in with the Annabelle Skinny Mascara, focusing it all over, but again, more on the outer portion of my eye. So next I have a pair of these red cherry lashes in style 415, but what I've done is I've cut them. So I've cut them about almost in half. So I'm just going to take the outer portion of the eyelash and just glue it on. You can glue on a full lash, but I do think it looks nicer with this kind of look to have the fullness just on the outer portion of the eye to kind of match that wing. And then when you're gluing your lashes onto, you want to make sure the lashes kind of point up with the wing. So either maneuver them or kind of while they're drawing, kind of lift them. But I like to play around and get that look. And then I like to add a little bit more mascara in the inner corner of my eye after everything dries. Okay, this is my Foxy eye. I really hope you guys did enjoy it. I tried to stick with a neutral, just one eyeshadow palette. All you need is one neutral eyeshadow palette. This one's great if you're looking for a great drugstore find. You need a black eyeliner, maybe a lighter eyeliner for the inner corner, and that's really it. A nice pair of eyelashes to kind of flick it at the end. Other than that, that's it. This is your Foxy eye. I really hope you guys did enjoy this video. I hope you learned something from it. As always, if you liked it, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel for new videos. Stay healthy, stay safe. Thanks for watching.